So, good evening, all. Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, good evening. Very good evening. So we are, going to have, like a discussion on a new module, risk management and enterprise risk management. Usually, risk is a word so connected to, insurance companies, especially insurance companies, because they deal with risk, right? So how the risk happens is like general enterprises, that is other businesses, that is other organizations. So if something unexpected happens, like that is uh sometimes risk can be a certain, or sometimes it cannot be like a certain. That is like sometimes it comes like out of nowhere. And uncertainty is like a type of risk. Though there is though more the risk and uncertainty seems to be like more or less a same, it has a same meaning, but there is like a small difference. Risk is something which can be manageable if predicted in advance, whereas uncertainty, it cannot be predicted in advance and nothing can be done. If some uncertainty happens, nothing can be done. But whereas in during risk times, yeah, it can be handled very well if if it is planned in advance. So let's start with what is actually a risk. So is the presentation visible? Yeah, everyone can see the presentation.
Yeah, yes, ma'am, visible.
Fine. Now, meaning of risk, peril, and hazards. So, why there is a need to know the difference between these three words? So let's understand. Risk is a potential of loss. That is predicting a loss. That is like the loss can happen, like at a certain point, or like during a certain event. So the prediction is already done, whether it's by an individual or it's by an agency or it's by the organization. The prediction is already done. So it's a potential of loss, that is undesirable outcomes arising out of uncertainty from a given action, activity, or inaction. So if there is a action happening, or if sometimes if there is inaction happen, inaction in the sense nothing is happening, so some sort of risk has happened. And activity, like the business activity or any kind of activity. So there is some risk, like attached to it. It's a possibility of adverse results flowing from any occurrence. Concept of risk in business refers not only to uncertainty on economic matters, it doesn't always have to be, but also on a life of a person when the insured is promised to be compensated for a loss in return for the payment of much smaller but certain expense called the premium. That is, if you take in the like in the context of general enterprise or organization, the risk doesn't concentrate only on the economic matters. So uncertainty is not connected only on the economic matters, but it is connected also with the the life of the employees, or life of the like the main person in the management, or the life of the main employee, or a very like a crucial employee of the organization. Same way, when you see in the insurance sector, insurance context, so it means the insured is the person to whom they for on whom the insurance is made, on whom the insurance is like claimed, instead of like in cases of any risk. So that's called the insured is promised to be compensated for a loss. In that case, that person is not available because of any reason. So that has to be compensated, right, to his family or her family. The money has to be, insured money has to be compensated. So peril, what is peril? It's a source of loss, or it is a cause of the risk. So because of something, so peril is the cause and risk is the effect. So cause and effect. Cause refers to peril and effect refers to risk. So peril is a source of loss, or it is a cause of risk or loss. So we have examples like fire, accident, windstorm, flood, theft. So anything it can be. And hazard. So hazard is something, it's a condition or situation that creates or increases the likelihood or occurrence of peril. That is, hazard is something, like it doesn't always has to be, like something so a gigantic risk, but There is a condition or situation which may become a peril, and peril, no, like it becomes a risk. So finally, risk refers to relatively objective probabilities which can be computed on the basis of past experience or some prior principle. Now let's see what are all the types of hazards. First we have is physical hazard. That is the environment. That is where the people, in case, no, like imagine an organization, the employees are working in the organization. So the environment of the organization. So how it is, no, like done, how it is maintained, how it is arranged, the furniture, the electrical connections, all the machineries, no, like the products. So how where it is arranged, and no, like the exit safe exit way, in case of any fire accident happening, and like availability of elevators and everything, so everything is functioning well or not. So all these physical amenities provided in the organization, like, yeah, the physical environment which could increase or decrease the probability or severity of a loss. It can be managed through risk improvement, insurance policy terms, and premium risk. So once a risk has happened, nothing can be done. If a life is lost because of a risk or because of a peril, the life cannot be like given back, but it can be compensated. That is what like anyone can do it. The organization can do it, or the insurance company can do it, or the government can do it. So it's more important to like make like precautionary arrangements in the physical environment, that is in the business environment, to make sure like everyone working there is safe. Not only refers to the people, but all the amenities provided also, like that is also safe, because if there is any damage happening to the property of the organization, so that is also a risk, because like everything is related to money. In everything, like money is a factor. And then comes the moral hazard. Moral hazard or attitude and ethical conduct of the insured, which cannot be managed but can be avoided by declining to insure the risk. So moral hazards are something like purposely done. That is, purposely the risk is being created. This usually like doesn't happen in all the organizations, but people who don't follow ethical practices, or people like who like follows some like a shortcut route for like generating money. So they may follow these like moral hazards. They may get into these moral hazards. So like it's like like dishonesty, and like burning down the like a property of the organization for getting the insurance money. And these are the like few like examples. Like sometimes it may cost even a life of a person, or it may know the whole how the whole place may be burnt down. So we have heard so many cases about that. So all this for like it's for getting the insurance money. So these are the moral hazards, which is purposely like created by an organization or the top management, or by any individual person or a group of persons. So then coming to the classification of risk. So on based on three factors, the risk is being classified. The first classification is based on consequence of risk event. So under that we have speculative risk and pure risk. And based on nature of event, we have fundamental risk and particular risk. And based on nature of the environment, we have static risk and dynamic risk. Let's see one by one. So first one is classification based on consequence of risk event. So what are all the consequences? So risk has happened, an event has happened, and what are all the like the consequences of the risk happen? The first one is speculative risk. So these types of risk which may give loss or profit. So it may give loss or it may give profit. So there is only one chance of loss or profit. Either it can be loss or it can be profit. It cannot be both. For example, going into our own business generates either loss or profit for us. Also, if we play card, there is either the loss of profit we get. So if we purchase share, there is a no either chance of we will make a loss of profit. So in these situations, both profit or loss are possible. So these are speculative risks. We speculate something no in the future. So it may go no like right, or it may go wrong, but it cannot happen no both. Both are not no like happening at the same time. So the second one is pure risk. It is based on the classification of consequence of risk event. Pure risk is those risks associated with uncertainties which may cause loss only. In pure risk, either a loss occurs or no loss occurs, there is no possibility of gain. Either it could be a loss or it could be no loss. That's it. But there is no possibility of gain. There is no profit. I mean, whichever money has been invested, it can be taken back, but there is no profit happen, or it can be a loss. The uncertainties may be due to the perils such as flood, fire, marine, theft, accident, etc. So how come no like this pure risk happen? How this pure risk is compensated is the compensation is done by the insurance companies or by the government. So in case of no like a sudden flood, like natural hazards, fire or marine theft, accident, if the building or if the property or if the people are insured, in that case, the insurance company compensates the loss. Or even if it is not insured, the government comes forward and no like compensate the losses. So this may happen. The second classification is based on nature of event. So under this we have fundamental risk and particular risk. Let's see what is fundamental risk. So fundamental risk are those type of risks that affects the entire economy or large number of persons or groups within the community or nation. Inflation is the best example of fundamental risk. War, earthquake. So these are the risks caused by conditions that is beyond the control of individuals. These are the basic natural fundamentals, right? That no one can know stop it other than inflation and war. So this is something no out of our control. So these are the fundamental risks. And particular risk is something no which is caused no like purposely, just like the case of no moral hazard. So particular risk or which was purposely like done. Particular risk are those which are caused by individual events and affect only the particular individual instead of the entire community or group. That is targeting only one person. It may be natural or it may be unnatural, but the target is just one person and not the entire community or no group of people. So, for example, burning of house, automobile accident. So, the particular of specific risk that can be addressed to the use of insurance policy. Even natural death, no, like that can be also, that is natural death to a person, an individual. So, that also comes under particular risk. And the third classification is based on nature of environment. On what nature, that is no like on what environmental condition the risk has happened. The first one is static risk. So it refers to damage or loss to a property or entity that is not caused by a stable economy, but by destructive human behavior or an unexpected natural event. So like fire, earthquake, accident, sickness. That is, it is not caused by stable economy. So economy, no, like doesn't play a like a very important role here. The economy may be stable, but no the human behavior or no unexpected natural event. So these are no like specified as static risk. This risk can be covered by insurance. They have a regular pattern of occurrence over time and can be reasonably predicted. Nowadays no like earthquakes no like yes it can be predicted, and cyclones yes it can be predicted, and thunderstorms sometimes no it can be predicted, but fire and no like accidents no it cannot be predicted. Few things it cannot be predicted, whereas no like few others it can be predicted. Then coming to dynamic risk. Dynamic risk are those risks that arises as per the change in the economy. Now the economical condition of the nation no or the no world no like that has a great impact on this dynamic risk because it keeps on changing. It's not stable no for a particular period of time, not even for one day. That is not like today the economical condition is different, tomorrow it's different, and the day after tomorrow it's different. So the societal changes and the economical changes, so that constitutes the dynamic risk. These risks affect a large number of individuals, but is considered as less predictable since they do not occur with any precise degree of regularity. So unemployment or war are the best examples of dynamic risk. So less predictable, like unemployment, yes, it is predictable. War, sometimes it's predictable because no, like you can see the you can see the countries, no, which is no, like having a cold war between them. may really start off no for a war, the actual war. So that is also possible. And unemployment, yeah, if the population of a particular country like India, no, like it grows up, no, it doubles up, it triples up, no, it goes no, like it keeps on increasing. So there is no such no like kind of economical no like advancement is happening. Then there is a risk of unemployment. So sometimes no, it can be predictable, but sometimes it cannot be predictable. So let's see, the types of risk, in detail. Pure risk. So it's those risks associated with uncertainties which may cause loss. So there is either loss or there is no loss, but there is no gain, no possibility of gain. So that is pure risk. The uncertainties may be due to the perils such as flood, fire, marine theft, accident. Most pure risk are insurable. So again, it can be classified as PPL, that is personal risk, property risk, and liability risk. So personal risk or an individual risk. So personal risk are those type of risks that affects the income earning capacity of an individual, which is something so personal, right? So the main person of the family, like who's the income earning, like an individual in the family, no like if but that person is no like no more or cannot be no like is not able to no like yearn like before, no, for the family, then there comes the personal risk. So who is going to get affected? The person and the person's family. So that's why it's personal risk or individual risk. Personal risk or risks that directly affect an individual, they involve the possibility of loss or reduction of income at extra expenses and the elimination of financial assets. So death, disability, illness, accident, unemployment. So these are the best examples of personal risk. So in any of these cases, so the main, the income earning machine of the family, like it gets cut down. It's broken down. So the family, suffers, like the after the, after that. So that's why, it's personal risk. So under personal risk or individual risk, we have other like classifications. That is earning risk, medical expenses, financial assets, and longevity risk. So earning risk, it refers to the fluctuation in the earning, which is which can occur as a result of decline in the productivity of income earners. Earning risk can occur due to the following reasons. So when there is no like there is a decrease in the earning, either there is no earning at all or there is a decrease in the earning. That is, the individual cannot earn as much that person was earning previously. So in that case, no, it becomes an earning risk. So what are the causes? Premature death. So death of the income earner that needs to pay the mortgage loan, education of children, many expenses. No, like everything is no like half done. Old age, risk of insufficient income for the old age retirement since they lose their normal amount of earning. So after retirement, no, like most of the people, no, most of the elders, no, they don't go for work. They either depend on their, no, like their, like their offsprings, or no, like they save something for their retirement life, which is not so much, right? Like if there is a longevity, no, in their age, say a person plans to live, no, like plans that no, that person may live for till no, like 75 to 80 years. So that person has planned the retirement for till 80 years, but the person has a longevity, no, like till 1995 years. So the remaining for 10, 15 years, no, that person has not planned. So there is no other way. That person has to depend on the offsprings, right? So that is the no old age risk. Then is poor health, includes the catastrophic medical bills and long-term disability that cause loss of the income saved, which can create financial havoc in the family. So unexpected, no like medical situations, emergency situations, and no like hospital bills. And if there is no health insurance covered, then again, no, it's a problem. Even if there is a health insurance covered, not every, every ailment, like will not be, listed under that insurance. So many, like risks are there. And finally, unemployment. So this can be due to economic change, seasonal factors, cyclic downsizing, which can create a financial havoc in the family. So economic change, because of economic change and seasonal factors. So sometimes there is a boost in the economy and sometimes there is a downfall in the economy. And sometimes a particular government allows for foreign direct investments. So there are more companies like booming up in the country. So there is more opportunity for employment. And few governments like restrict like entry of foreign direct investment. So there is like not much unemployment is being happening. Unemployment has come. Cyclic downsizing. Many companies downsize their employees. So they send their employees as a bulk out of the company for various reasons, to cut down the cost or to like minimize the cost. They starts downsizing the employees. If there is a sudden downsizing without any like prior information, so obviously there is an unemployment risk. Then is the medical expenses. Like the risk of living long and facing higher medical expenses due to illness, accident of an individual or his or her family members. So we most of us would have faced this. Financial assets, risk related to the market changes or poor performance of a financial asset. So there is a like a market change happening. So whatever we have invested in shares, like it becomes there is a like a fluctuation there. Whatever we have invested in options or futures market, the currency market, or sometimes even in like metal market. There is we have invested in gold or no other metals. We have invested in land, building, whatever it is. So when there is a like a shake in the economy, so the cost of the price value of like these items like it suddenly like it faces a downfall, then there is a financial asset risk happening. And then is the longevity risk. So because of like many medical advancements, now longevity has become a common thing in almost all the countries. So many we can see many people living till the age of like 90, 85 to 90. So previously it was not the case. The average like not the average yeah, average age of a person like in India is what it was no around the 45, between 45 to 50. But now the average age has become like it has become like around 55 to 60, because longevity has increased because of like many updations or like many like new medicines coming up for to cure illness, even for like treating diseases. Like we have many cures, we have many surgeries, updated surgeries. Like we have many things coming up in the medical industry. So because of the longevity is happening, and people don't plan for that longevity. That is, they plan only till like their 60 or 70 years. But if they happen to live like even after that, they don't have any particular plan for the extra years they are living. Then is the property risk. So property risk are those type of risk that results in a loss or damage to property, only to the property and not to the person, right? So due to fire, theft, terrorism, war, flood. The property risk can be minimized through the property insurance policies by indemnifying the insured for damage to covered property on one of the two bases. So, based on two factors, the property risk can be the damage caused because of the property risk, it can be covered. The first one being actual cash value, and the second one is replacement cost value. So, let's see one by one. The actual cash value. So it's the amount equal to the replacement cost minus depreciation of a damaged or stolen property at the time of the loss. That is, so in case of machinery, say a machinery has cost like 1 crore when it was purchased, but after 5, 10 years, it will not be the same 1 crore. It might have become like 90 lakhs or like 85 lakhs. There is a depreciation, like cost has like happened. So if that machinery is like is of no use, like hereafter it has like broken down, or it has been like burnt because of fire, or it has been like uh, taken by somebody else, or because of any loss being caused on that machine. So the actual cash value at that particular time of the like the risk has happened. So that cash will be like compensated. So it is the actual value for which the property could be sold, which is always less than what it would cost to replace it. But if the company wants to buy the product again, the machinery again, which costed 1 crore 10 years back, now the cost would have risen to 1.10 crore or 1.15 crores. But the compensation, what they are getting is the depreciation cost. That is minusing the depreciation cost, which is around 85 lakhs to 90 lakhs. So there is a lot of difference, right? But this is how the actual cash value, like it's being covered. The second one is replacement cost value. It is also called reinstatement value. So replacement cost value is the amount it would cost to repair or replace a lost, stolen or damaged item with one of the same material and quality as the original. That is the actual cost. That is, if the machine has been purchased for 1 crore 10 years before, write down the market value. That is, if a new machine is being bought or replacement machine is being bought, now the cost would be around 1.10 crores or 1.15 crores. So while the company has no like insured for that machine under the factor RCV, that is replacement cost value. So if something no like a damage has happened to the machine, the insurance company would pay the today's market value of the product. That is today's market value is 1.10 or 1.15 crores. So that would be the compensation money the company gets, the organization gets. It does not consider what you paid for the item or how much it has depreciated in value since you purchased it. Instead, whenever you're purchasing a property or insurance policy, you should always ask whether coverage is for the replacement cost or actual cash value. And this is applicable only for non-living factors, right? Replacement cost coverage usually reimburses you for the full cost of replacing the cost, stolen or damaged item, rather than simply reimbursing you for the value of the item at the time of the thing. So in this, the insured can get due for old ones because there is no loss, right? So types of property risk. First one is direct risk. So these risks are those risks when the property is directly damaged or directly destroyed or disappears on coming in contact with the peril. That is building destroyed by fire or vehicles stolen. So reason can be many. So that is not like direct risk. That is the property is directly damaged or destroyed. Indirect risk. Indirect risk are those risks where the value of the property is lessened or depreciated as a result of direct damage to some other property. So, like nearby property is no like has been damaged. In that case, no like this building has also no faced some damages. So there's an indirect risk. The value of a house decreases when the house is caught on fire that causes damage of the clothes and other furniture of the house, but the building, although being safe, is depreciated. This is another example. And then is the net income risk. So net income risk is otherwise known as revenue expenses risk. It is a reduction in net income of the business when property is damaged or destroyed. So sometimes, like businesses may face, like a decline or downfall in their income, net income. Okay. So when there is a damage, like has happened to their property, and the loss may occur during the period until such property is replaced or restored to its former condition. That is, when this will happen is when this will prevail is till the property is replaced or restored to its former condition. So net income loss can arise on account of a decrease in revenue or an increase in expenses. So in either of these two conditions, that is decrease in revenue. So usually the revenue, with which the organization was generating, so that has like decreased, or there is an increase in expenses. So whatever the company is like spending on a weekly basis or a monthly basis or a quarterly basis, so that has increased. That is, more money is going out of the company, but on the contrary, there is no returns to the company. No revenue is no coming to the company. And then is the liability risk. So liability risk are those types of risk that exposes an individual to the third party. That is accident while driving, negligence by the professional. So these are the examples. Liability for causing harm to others is the second major object of this risk. Liability insurance is part of the general insurance system or risk financing to protect the purchaser, that is, who has purchased the insurance, who are otherwise called as insured, from the risk of liabilities imposed by lawsuits and similar claims. So it protects the insured in the event he or she is sued for claims that come within the coverage of the insurance policy. So this is liability risk. And of course, there are no like types of liability risk. Let's see one by one. The first one is employer's liability coverage. So these terms, no, it may seem confusing for you, but as you read it again and again, going through it again and again, it would be, like easily understandable. So first, like classify, under the general risk. What is risk and what are the main classifications? And then each classification will be having a sub-classification. So if you know the terms and if you can understand what that particular risk or hazard or what that particular coverage is, like related to, it would be easy to remember. So now we are good looking at the liability, types of liability risk. First one, employer's liability coverage, which is covered by the employee to get the protection on the work. It is enforced by the law to get the proper coverage to the employee under the employer's liability policy to give the proper coverage. So the liability coverage is no like given to the employee through the employer. The second one is public liability coverage, which covers by any damage of public property. So all the public property, like you see, outside your house, like sometimes, most of the times, it has a coverage. It is important to get the coverage based on the types of coverage you require under the public liability coverage. The third one is product liability coverage. So this is very simple. Gives protection to the manufacturers by way of the coverage. So in case of like any damage or theft or anything happening to their product or the delivery of the product or while manufacturing the product, whatever, or already they would have purchased the raw materials and they would have safely kept in their warehouses. So, for any reason, it is no under the organization's responsibility. That is, a product is the organization responsibility, and if the product like it encounters any kind of risk, this product liability risk is covered. It is called the product liability coverage, and it will cover you against any damage or injury due to products. The fourth type of coverage is directors and officers insurance. It is to give protection against any lawsuits against the officers or the company to get the proper coverage. This usually like is taken like in corporates. This directors and officers insurance just like done taken by the corporate companies to make sure their the top management people in the top management are safe and they cannot be easily manipulated or they cannot be easily pulled into the law system, because if any such incident happens, like the whole system will go uncontrollable. The share value of the organization will go down, and the potential investors may not be ready to invest anymore, and the shareholders like they may have no lot of difference of opinion, and the whole thing in the organization will become a ruckus. So to avoid this kind of unfair situation, so usually corporate companies, multinational companies, what they do is they take this type of coverage, directors and officers insurance. And the fifth one is professional coverage. It gives protection to the professionals against any claims. It is necessary to get the professional liability coverage. Now let's see. These are the sources of risk. So external sources and internal sources. So external sources are completely external, which is no like because of economic factors, because of natural factors, and because of political factors. So to to remember it, no, there is a code word for this pen, PEN. P stands for political, E stands for natural, and E stands for economic, and N stands for natural. So economic factors, we already know that there is an instability in the world economy or national nation's economy, and no, there is an inflation. There is a a swing in the stock market, the trading market, and there is a bull trade sorry, there is a bear trade happening, and there is no bull trade happening. So because of these economic factors, so risk may happen. And then coming to natural factors, so all the natural, calamities or natural hazards, which is, sometimes predictable, sometimes unpredictable. So because of this floods, thunderstorms, and cloudbursts, landslides, and tsunami, everything, the tornadoes, everything comes under, the natural factors. Political factors, instability of political situation in the country, cold war between countries, and the actual war happening between countries, and trade irregularities, and conflict of interest between the diplomats of two countries. It can be anything, or between the government of two countries. Because of any political factors, the risk may happen. It may happen to the government as well as to the organizations as well. Now coming to internal sources. So we have another code word here, HOTP or POTH. So H stands for human factors, O stands for operational factors, T stands for technological factors, and P stands for physical factors. So first see what is operational factors. So if anyone by mistake or purposely don't perform the operation, that is the business operations, uh, within the specified time, then there is a risk in the company. They could not meet profits, they may face loss, and there is no profit situation. They could only take whatever they have invested. So these are the operational factors. Or if an employee doesn't know, mistakenly handle the machine, and because of that, there is a breakdown in the machine, or because of that the employee has lost one of his arm or leg or any of his physical body parts, whatever it is, all this is because of the operational risk. Then coming to human factors, that is human factors is an individual purposely or mistakenly doing something which is which has caused a damage to the property, or damage to the goodwill of the company, or damage to another employee or to the group of the employees in the organization, which may affect the goodwill of the organization, which may affect the name, the positive name of the organization. And the third one is technological factors. So technological factors is we know that day by day there are new technologies surging up, and if the organizations don't give themselves to adapt to these technologies, then there is always a technological risk. Because most of the companies now they have switched on to the automation. Automation is to make things easier and simple, and but few companies still follow the conventional method of accounting, and maintaining the records, or maintaining the warehouse, or maintaining the storage facility, even manufacturing and even agriculture as well. People were doing the agriculture in the same way which they were no which their forefathers were doing 50 100 years before, which is not going to work out anymore, because there are new advancement in the technology which could save lot of money and lot of time and energy. So when people or the organization they are not willing to adapt to get adapted to the new technology, then there is a risk in the advancement. There is a risk in advancement of the organization. And finally, the fourth one is physical factors. Physical factors is the physical building or physical amenities provided in the organization. See, for example, there are loose wires in the organization, or in the production unit, or in the warehouse. There are loose wires, which is not sealed, or no, which is not covered properly. So in that case, no, there is a risk happening, right? There is no like a lot of risk. It may end up someone getting electrified, no, because of those loose wires. Or no, there is a on the floor there is a damage on the floor, and without knowing it, no, like people are no like passing by, and no, they are no like taking the forklift trucks, no, like when these people or no like the forklift trucks, no, like they no encounter no those potholes in the floor of the organization. Obviously there is going to be an accident. So again, no, these physical factors, no, which is no the physical amenities provided in the organization, if they don't support an no like a strong, secured system for the employees in the work environment, yes, then that's going to be the physical risk. So this is what we have discussed, economic factors. So these risks are the sources of the results from the change in the market conditions. So they have given more examples. That is changes in the demand for the product, price fluctuations, income, change in the income and the trade cycles. So another name for this economic factors is the dynamic risk, which is less predictable because they do not appear at regular intervals. Natural factors, unforeseen natural calamities over which the entrepreneur has very little or no control at all. So everything, no, like flood, earthquake, cyclone, lightning, tsunami, everything, yeah, comes under the natural factors. If they have insured the property, if they have insured the lives of the individuals or lives of the employees, a group insurance is already taken. So in that case, the insurance company would compensate the loss. Or sometimes, no, if there is no insurance happening, insurance has not been taken by the organization. Sometimes few governments they come forward to they compensate for the loss. So third, we have seen the political factors under external risk, that is external factors which induce the risk. So these are the risks that is caused due to the political situation, condition of the country or region. So communal violence, political changes in the country, riots in the country, civil wars, changes in government policies and regulations. So these things adversely affect the business enterprise. So they have given the example changes in the industrial policy, trade policy during the budget amendments. Yes, budget plays a very important role in the political situation. So if there is no balance in the political situation because of budgeting, or because of a bill being passed in the parliament, or in any kind of government organizations, then there is a a disturbance in the normal political procedures. So that is going to adversely affect the country, as well as going to affect the business as well. Even an individual's earning, yes, that would get affected. Then coming to the internal sources of risk, we have seen operational factors, human factors, and technological factors and physical factors. So under operational factors, this risk is associated with the monetary losses resulting from inadequate or failed internal processes. That is inadequate or failed. Like people didn't take strong decisions, or people took wrong decisions, that is within the organization, they took wrong decisions, or they haven't taken a decision at all. So for that, no, they have missed a contract with with a giant company, which could have yielded more profit. So that is also a risk, right? They have lost the opportunity. So human error or from external events. So system or technology failure, and they might have not they do not have any backup. They haven't no planned for any backup in case of sudden failure in the system. So they haven't planned for any a generator. So some kind of backup technology, they don't have, or they are not ready to invest in those kind of backup things. So obviously there is a loss. inadequate record keeping, lack of supervision and control, fraud. So everything, no, it comes under the operational factors. Operational factors is nothing but the factors which is happening on the normal operations in the organization. Then human factors. Human factors are those factors which results from strikes, lockouts by trade unions, negligence by employees, accident or death in the industry, incompetence of the manager along with the failure of the suppliers to supply materials or goods on time or default in payment by debtors, etc. adversely affect the business. Everything, like lockouts by trade unions. It is trade unions calling all the employees for no a strike or for lockout or negligence by the employees. So there is a no like a hazard is being noticed in the organization, but employees know like they just neglect that hazard. They don't give a no like a time for it, and they don't give an eye for it. So in that case, know that there is a chance of accident happening. There is a chance of no like a breakdown happening, which is obviously a human factor. Then accident or deaths in the industry. So there is a fire in no one of the company in the industry, or no, there is a building collapsed in the industry, or no, the products no like it has created a no like like a great ruckus, or it has created great damage to the people and to the property of the company. So whatever it is, no like there is an accident or a death. So that is also comes under human factor because it was not no like given importance, and it was no it went unnoticed. People would have seen it, they wouldn't have predicted it, they wouldn't have no like tried to know like make set things right. So because of their negligence, no, this has happened. And incompetence of the manager along with the failure of suppliers. So the suppliers no failing to supply the products on time. So in that case, what happens? The production gets halted. The production is not happening on time. And because of that, by the end of the day, there is no product, no, at the end of the day. So there is no product sent to the warehouse. If there is no product in the warehouse, no, there is a loss for the company. It means people cannot order products from the organization. So they'd obviously go to the competitors' products. So this company has lost the potential, like customers or consumers. So because of negligence, because of no like purposeful negligence, or no like because of mistake or misinterpretation or misunderstanding, and because of these human factors, yes, there can be internal source of risk. The third one is technological factor. These are the risks due to the changes in the techniques of production or distribution, which results in technological obsolescence and other risks. That is no like there has been new technology coming up in the production, but this company, a particular company, still sticks on to the old conventional method of producing, which may cause a great pollution to the environment. But with the new technology, it may not cause no like a pollution, not that much pollution, or it may not cause pollution at all. So no, but this person or this company is not ready to adapt to the new technology. It is no a person still no like goes and buys no like diesel car or no petrol car, whereas no like there is an availability of no like EV vehicles, like right. So purposely when a person is no like neglecting that thing and no going for no this old way of no like uh usage of the things, no, so that then that's a psychological factor. Yes, Mr. Syed Hassan, you have raised your hand. Yes, you have any doubt?
On please. Technological factor again, please.
Which one? Sorry, I didn't get you. Could you please repeat it? Okay. I'm not getting response. Okay, fine. So let's finish this off and know like we can now clear off all the doubts. So finally, the fourth one is physical factors, and these are the factors which result in loss or damage to the property of the firm with consent or without consent. Okay, they include the failure of the machinery and equipment used in business, fire or theft in the industry, damage of the goods in transit. So these are the external and internal sources of risk happening. So many of these risks can be predicted in advance, and it can be, handled very well when it actually happens. But other than that, no, like few, which is out of humans' control, or which is out of, no, like even the technology control, no. So that, no, like it's completely uncertainty and which cannot be handled at all. So we can stop till this. The remaining we can see in our, no, like next session, because no, which is happening, which will happen by next Saturday. So if you have any doubts, yes, you can stay back. I'll be here for next 2 to 3 minutes, or we can meet next week. You can unmute and you can ask your doubts, or you can send a chat message. Okay, so one has asked, no, like how to get the no PPTs. So yeah, PPTs are usually no share after the sessions. Only few times, no, I would have created a PPT for with no like at least 30 to 35 slides. So which I'll be covering, in 2 to 3 sessions. Only in those cases, I'll be sharing the PPT with the concerned academic coordinator after the end of the so all 3 sessions. That is, I'll be completing the whole module and then I'll be sharing. Or otherwise, usually, no, like every week I used to share the PPTs, no, like which I usually share with you, no, during the class time. That is which I know share on screen with you. So you can expect the PPTs, no, before your next session, anytime before your next session. Hope I have no answered the question.
Mom, please.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah.
Mom, how can I find last exam, please? Exam result.
That you have to check with the academic coordinator.
I was try, but not yet.
Okay, fine. Maybe no, like I'll just ask them to know, like contact you. Okay.
Okay, please. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, right. Okay, so another question. So this module, so see, there is no like a regular, I cannot say uh, this topic or this module will be having exactly, 5 sessions or 4 sessions, 4 weekly sessions or 5 weekly sessions. But what I would say is depends on the like the content, like which I am creating or the content which I am using to explaining to you. So when it comes to know like the content creation, I usually check with know like most of the resources for creating the content, and few things I would get so deeper. That is no like few content. Most of the business contents, no, the management related contents, no, I usually go, no, like get more, no, get the content from most of the resources, and a few things I already have with me because I've created a lot of PPT for myself. So I know like combine everything and give it to you. So in that case, a particular module can take no like 4 to 5 sessions, and sometimes no a module which will not be no having more than 2 sessions. So it depends on the topic, no like the module or the topic, no which I have selected no for no taking the session. So it's not that there is no the fixed sessions for each and every module. So it depends on the content, it depends on the topic, or depends on the module. Okay, so if there is no other question, maybe we can no wind up the session. So see you next week.